Well, I wasn't going to say anything on this, but now that we are completely in the custom fabrication realm of doing this, ordered this kit from 2M at Pocatello, and it said it worked on the 24s. So I don't know if the 25s are that different on their header design that it completely changed. None of the shit is fitting correct. For example, check out the bolts they sent me for the collectors. I don't know how a collector is that thick, but that is a massive overkill. Not gonna happen. Threads run out way before you get to that. So we'll update on what we're doing under here. We're going to do a custom X pipe on this because again, on this kit that I bought from 2M, the clamps they gave you do not match up to the size of pipe on here on this model. So I don't know again if this is different on the 24 to the 25. They claim this fits the 24, so I assume the 25 would be the same. Does not appear that way. So we're making a custom X pipe back here. You can kind of see when we're coming up to this, we're going to connect everything into the stock headers. And the pipe on this side does connect to this correctly, but we did find the collector here does not work with the flange. So we've got Craig creating a custom flange to put up here and weld it on as a kind of reducing taper. You could probably get away with it as we were looking at it if you really wanted to put like a 1/4 inch of weld down into the metal to get this to actually fit with the flange they give you, but it's not right when you do it that way, so we're doing it the right way. There's the reducing flange that we're putting together to put on the end of the header. Continuing on a bit of the saga here from the stuff they sent me, got to looking at the gaskets for this thing, which looks okay on this side, right? And take a look here. You can see right up here, we got some creases in this freaking thing. They're pulled right out of the box, and this is what happened. No bends from us, this is just how they shipped them to me. So just wanted to show you the couplers, like the design, the pipe, the geometry, like everything, it's great. It looks really good. We were commenting upon that just a second ago, but as we look at this, like that is never going to seal correctly because it's nowhere close to actually clamping down onto the pipe with the stuff they sent here. So that's why we're going to replace the X pipe while we're down here, because otherwise this thing's going to have an exhaust leak around both sides of this if we just use this. Or we'd have to put like a 1/4 inch of welding up into that pipe to get it to fit. Craig's all set up on this. We got the flange tacked on. So we're gonna finish putting this all the way around, and we can go from there. What? So as we go through the progress and getting this up today, got this one going here. Got the pipes off of it now. Got all that installed up through there. You can see if I can get underneath it. This lift is installed mine. The sensor's tied up. Move this one down here from pinching a bunch of stuff over there. Goes up to there. Goes up to there. And I went through and customized all of that. See if we can show you a little bit. Got that back in there. We made that custom go through there. And X-pipe coming next. So just furthering on the hard pass for this kit for you guys. So this is what they sent us to connect on here. Okay, there's no clamp for this side other than this that they sent us. And I'm gonna have to set this down and show you fully. That goes there. That don't go inside there. So I don't know what they expected for the clamps in this entire goddamn thing to work, because none of this shit is actually the right size. Like, it's definitely not that side. They've got separate little small clamps here they gave us for the smaller side, which they kind of sort of fit, but they're still kind of small on the entire sizing of how I would do this. So again, not sure what this kit was, but I think I'm going to be having a conversation with those guys in Pocatello about what on earth this crap was they shipped me from Poway, California when I ordered this thing. All right, we're trying this again. Might be because I had it in neutral the entire time. Hit it. All right, so we did this a little out of sequence because we got the car done, had to get off the lift real quick. I need to get a chance to go under it. So I'm gonna show you guys what we ended up doing. 10 out of 10, do not recommend on the 24 and up the cat delete pipes from 2M Fabrication. None of the shit worked. Would have been a nightmare if I wasn't working with a fabrication shop that could make all this stuff for me. The only thing that's good out of that kit is this pipe on either side coming up, but none of the stuff they give you with the kit was functional at all. The clamps didn't fit there, the clamps wouldn't fit there, and you can see we've welded them all the way around now. They do not fit the stock resonator pipes at all. They were way too small in the stock resonator pipes compared to the clamps and the piping they gave you. And then on this side where you have to cut the cat off of the header itself, we actually ended up, as you can see here, we created a little reducer to go off of it because again, this clamp piece, I don't want to touch it, but the backside here, that one that's nice and hot as I'm sitting here getting ready to go on the dyno, was way too big and would have been a massive leak as well. I showed you some of that in the other videos. Because of the way this worked, we went ahead and did a custom X pipe that the guys here at Straight Fabrication did an awesome job in putting this all together for me. These things, the way they were pinching, they weren't the right size, they were gonna leak. Again, you're gonna get whistles, you're gonna get a freaking exhaust leak if you use this shit the way they actually gave us the kit. None of it was of good quality other than the pipes themselves. So I believe that maybe 2M built these pipes and then sent it out for somebody to give them the clamps and these reducing couplings. Whoever they used for the reducing couplings and clamps were utter and total garbage. Do not fit whatsoever, would not work with anything on this 25 GT that we did this on. So we built the X pipe, came on down and connected it back here. Because we were in interest of trying to get this done, we could have spent some more time and actually, you know, created a way to remove this still, but the intent on this car is eventually we're gonna put a pair of turbos somewhere right around here, or sorry, more up here. When the turbos show up, we'll change the exhaust again. This was just a temporary thing for the next 3 to 6 months, depending upon when I feel like doing the turbos on this car. I also have the ESS on the truck, and I've got a twin turbo truck that I need to get going again, and I still have the race car at some point that we're going to get to. Other things I'll note with the relocation, we did tie one side of the O2 sensor wiring up here to get it out of the way, and on this side we actually used a P-clamp to kind of tie this up and get it away from everything before it was up above the shift linkage, and we didn't want to have anything up there where it might bind the linkage and cause a problem, so we went ahead and moved it to the underside here. So that was kind of the installation. That was everything going on it. Now we're gonna get in and actually run it through the dyno stuff.
449 at 393.
That's what I was looking for off of that. We're hitting max power at 7,000, and then it's just kind of tailing off from there. As you can see, I think this one. One of these here at some point. Alright, so I want to say the brown one or the blue one, the dark blue ones, that's 19. Let's look at 19 versus this. There you go. So we gained almost 30 horsepower and another 30 foot-pounds of torque by getting the caps off here in the X-pipe. You can see like we gained power all the way across the power band. It's like I was in here and we were making an extra 30 foot-pounds of torque from the bottom all the way through the mid, and then up top we were a full 30 horsepower. Pretty much from where is this? This is like almost 30 horse all the way out. And then at about 7,500, just everything kind of dies, which is what I would expect with the manifold and motor right now. Because it's still got a stock GT intake from the 2025. But that's impressive. Those are some good gains. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it to improve any. I'm going to check the fueling, look at where everything is. That's pretty happy right where it is. You got it.
At 390. 441 at 390.
Identical?
441.
It did come down some horsepower.
All right, so there we have it. Numbers you're seeing here is what it was before we did the exhaust modifications at 420, and now what it ended up at after the exhaust modifications. Now the 451 that's on here is with the exhaust valve fully open. The 441 is what it was when I tried to close the exhaust valve. Now it did open up towards the top, and it still carried pretty decent up here, but it did try to choke it down quite a bit. But it didn't really impact it too much down here other than a little bit here on the bottom end torque. Like we see a decent amount here on the torque where it did quiet it down, and then those valves do open up as everything starts flowing. But that's where we're gonna end it at. So I'll close all and just go back here. All right, there we are. Max power. What? Wrong one, sorry, I hit the wrong one. Editing mistake for later. There's the one, okay? So that's what we're carrying there. And then if I come back to 19, way back ago when I did this, right, you can see the difference. So we are carrying 34 foot-pounds more torque out the bottom. Here in the mid-range, we're up pretty much 30 wheel horsepower. And up top, we are, if it'll actually cooperate, up 31 wheel horsepower at times. And again, we're still carrying a good amount of torque. I was revving this thing all the way out to 8. It has a little bit of an RPM cutoff in the dyno just to make sure it doesn't show the weird tail as it comes done. But you're pretty much seeing that it's all in by 75, and then pretty much starts dying off once you get past 75. So there we have it. That's where we're going to leave it at for right now. Next up might be some nitrous on it. Going to see what we feel like doing next to play around with it here a little bit.